Dear viewers, in the previous video, we discussed the end of Roman Empire in England. And in this video, we would know about the migrations of the tribes. In fact, these tribes were from southeast of Russia. Generally, it is known the southeast of Russia is the coldest part of Russia, and the people of those territories were looking for some comfortable region of the world for settlement. When they came in England, they were in large number, even though they could not outnumber the indigenous people. And these people were combining three tribes basically. The first one is Anglo, the second tribe is indicator of majority of number Saxon and Jew. Then they were engaged in conflict or clashes with the local people. However, they could defeat the local people and they settled treaty with them and started living in agreement with the local people. Happened because of the migration of the tribes, Anglo Saxon and Jew. Old English politics, Anglo Saxon and Jew, they made their own territory. They established feudal society, in fact kingdoms, and the king gave land to the landlords, and the landlords used their tenants to cultivate the lands given by the king. And at the end of the cultivation season, the landlords took share of the production, and from the share, the landlords gave tax to the king. There is no doubt geographical division or topographical division, but the Anglo-Saxon and Jew, the kings, they put less attention to topographical division. In fact, they had a strong unity among themselves. King Arthur and Alfred were two great kings of Anglo-Saxon political arena. There was loyalty between the king and his followers. Warriors served the king, and in return, the king gave land to the warriors. In fact, they had a strong kingship. In Anglo-Saxon society, God was considered to be superior. Then they honored king, and after king, there were knights, warriors, and thanes. And now the kingdoms by the Germanic tribes, Wessex, Sussex, and Essex, were ruled by Saxons. East Anglia, Middle Anglia, Mercia, and Northumbria were dominated by the Anglo, and Kent was dominated by the Jutes. The kingdoms of England and ruled according to that division. Anglo-Saxon economy was based on farming, trading, and fishing. And now the English people or Anglo-Saxon people were introduced with a new group of people who are very dangerous in regard of the independence of the territories of England. And this group of people was called Vikings. So Vikings, they were actually plunderer. They attacked the coastal areas, and they were Scandinavian pirates. They were Swedish, Norwegian, and Danish people, and by religion, they were pagan. As they were from northern part of Europe, so they were called Norsemen or Norman. In addition, they came for plundering, raid, trade, and conquest. They were also called Vikings. Stayed in England from 793 to 1066. When they first came into England, they attacked the coastal monasteries, towns, cities, and villages, and thus they plundered well from those areas. They invaded many portions of England and established their rule or dominance, and thus they expanded trade and commerce in England. And now Anglo-Saxon versus Viking. The Anglo-Saxons were already settled in England, and now another powerful group, the Vikings, they came into England. Between Anglo-Saxon and Vikings, there were a lot of battles, and a series of battles continued till 1066. That started from 793. The Vikings conquered most of the territories of England. However, there were some great kings of the Anglo-Saxon, as For an example, King Alfred and Arthur. So King Alfred of Wessex defeated the King Viking Guthrum in the Battle of Addington in 878. Then he converted King Viking Guthrum into Christianity. Then the settled treaty, England was partitioned by two parts, Danelaw by King Guthrum and Anglo Saxon by King Alfred. Athelstan, King Alfred's grandson, created the Danelaw in 997 in the Battle of Brunanburh. Then the Vikings once again recaptured England and they continued ruling till 1066. Harold Godwinson refilled the last Viking in 1066 and the king name was Hadrada. Harold Godwinson refilled the last Viking Hadrada in the battle happened in 1066. And unfortunately, immediately King Harold Godwinson was defeated by William the Great, Norman king. And then Norman period started in England from the time 1066. This is the political background of Anglo Saxon period.